What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 3 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Orion Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, we have confederated Durthu and we'll be getting him on the field in... By the looks of it, 3 turns, so I'm now wondering what the AI might have done to his skills that might warrant a reset. But we'll have to see, and we do still have to build his army. Anyway, in addition to that, we have pretty much destroyed the Caravan of Blue Roses, but did manage to acquire the all-important Gorstore Ghost defeat trait, and gives us that lovely casualty replenishment rate, which we sorely needed on Orion, because he wants to be fighting every single turn. We do still have Kugath and whoever Sneer Throt Scar is. I wonder if he got a scar from Throt. That's a distinct possibility. This little Skaven faction out here as well. Both full stacks, both beside Orion, and he is damaged, so they might try to take advantage of that and attack us. And frankly, I'm hoping that they will. Anyway, in terms of what we got to do this turn, I don't believe that there is much. We're mostly waiting on buildings, and we've moved everybody. Somebody did suggest that we may want to actually undelete this. I am of the opinion generally that the furs are probably a little bit more worth than the construction cost reduction, or at least that's what I had thought. However, we will still need to be upgrading these things, and even 5% will be a significant amount of cash. I mean, not a crazy amount of cash, but it will pay for itself. Fine, why not? Why not? Just rebuild it, screw it. Interesting, it's all adjacent provinces but doesn't apply to self because there's no construction cost reduction on you. That's kind of interesting. But it does seem to apply to these, unless I'm mistaken. Yeah, so there is a reduction on these. But it wouldn't work on the Oak of Ages because there is no adjacency, is there? Maybe it isn't worth it. Well, let me think about this. Well, actually, screw it. You know, just. Let's build it back, whatever. Not a big deal. Let's end the turn. I'd like to see if we get attacked. I also, between the episodes, once again, took a look at that list. I'll be doing that between every single episode, essentially, and tried to declare war on a couple more factions. The problem is, of course, that every single turn, factions die, and then we have to... Okay, Kugath will not attack us. Factions die, and then we have to redeclare war on more factions, elsewise they will, we won't get that critical mass of reductions, which we want to maintain at all times. Now, Taber Helsnicht, he will attack us, of course, because, well, otherwise, well, you've no choice since this is your last territory. We'll auto-resolve you to death. And looks like skeletons and direwolves survive. A little bit of damage on us. We are in our own territory, so in theory we will heal. And I guess just in case we'll abduct the captives, because I'm not sure whether we'll heal to full. And, we're gonna have to chase you down, aren't we? Kuran, you will want us to attack the Barrow Legion, but I think we can decline that. We most likely will attack them, just not at the current time. Now, Marcus Jaeger, you're the guy that's replaced the other guy. Let's see. And we got another quest, alright. What do we get? The spear? Huh? Oh, there's no little speech for it. Alright, lots of confederations and lots of deaths, which means less wars, unfortunately. There are lots of faction destructions, but that's why we got the scout up and running. And we do have our new... Okay, go over there. Yeah, the scout is going to go up here, basically. We know that there's a ton of factions in the Northern Chaos Wastes and in Norscan. We'll sort of sail away along all of this and start declaring war on all of them. Most likely they will eventually all just start moving down to attack Athel Loren, but that's fine. Oh, what may not be as fine is the fact that it get claws down here, though we would like his research defeat trait. I guess Trelon will have to deal with it. I was actually going to send Trelon... I'm gonna have to give them some thought. I was going to send her here while Orion came back and went to another place with the next wild hunt, but we may no longer be able to do that. Now, Kugath is hovering right at the edge of our territory. We could ignore it. What's the chances he'd run? Fairly decent, but we should give it a shot. Why not? It's a chance to knock out his full stack. On top of that, we got the never-ending hunt now. Campaign movement range plus 25 when sacking, or raising rather, settlements. Orion regains his full strength during winter, and then cooldown reductions and HP. I think we'll... Okay, well, let's give you your point first. Believe I was gonna pop you into Cleanse the Forest for even more charge bonus. I think we'll forgo sending Deluric with you just in case, because the extra unit might make Kugath run, and we obviously don't want that. Let's give it a try. I have a feeling that since he's hovering at the edge of our range, he... Oh, okay, never mind. I'm just stupid. I was gonna say, since he's hovering right at the edge of our range, the AI has a tendency to do that when it's not going to fight, but in this case, it looks like it will, so we will enjoy it. Before we drop into the battle, yes, we reach the engagement threshold, and yes, this will be an hour-long episode, and the engagement threshold stands 500 likes and 70 comments, and the next episode will be an hour long as well. Let's get Kugath. Alright, here we go. It's high time that we purge the Plague Father. And we're going to start by purging those plague drones up in the sky, as they can do quite a bit of damage if you let them. And, well, they do have to get fairly close in distance. Unfortunately, their range being 75 as compared to the 175 of the Hawk Riders, we would, in theory, be able to kite them pretty much until they're destroyed. But still, focus them down first. Looks like they did manage to back up, so the arrows didn't hit them all that much, but we can move forward and get... and hit them again. I'm wondering now, with their armor at 50%, would it be more efficient to hit them with multi-shot arrows, or would it be more efficient to hit them with armor-piercing arrows? I'm not entirely sure. And we're going to switch to Kugath instead for a little bit of a while. I'm sure he'll heal up, but we've no choice but to start whittling down that HP. Plus, he may as well use his spells on healing himself. Waste all of his mana and get closer to his healing cap, because we'll have to reach it eventually. He is going to chuck his Nurglings up at the... Well, I was about to say up at the Hawk Riders, but no, the Nurgling's going to sail right through the antlers on Orion's head. And Orion will just keep on chucking those spears. And, ooh, direct hit from the enemy Nurgling. Looks like we lost about 300 HP, really not worth considering. It does look like the Furies have arrived, however, furious perhaps at us attacking them, and will land not upon Orion, but instead upon Dodan, our Waystalker. This does, unfortunately for them, mean that they will get obliterated by the Hawk Riders from up above. The Plague Drones are still hovering around, but it's time for Orion himself to back off a little bit. A Hounds of Kurnus already did maybe half of the HP damage to one unit of Nurglings, and then nearly destroyed another. Alright, and with the Furies melting away, we now switch to those Plague Drones, who are starting to take damage. And I believe on this one, I did decide to eventually switch the fire. One unit will fire armor-piercing damage, and one unit will fire multi-shot. And we'll do a little bit of a comparison. Or did I see? Yeah, no, okay, they've switched. They've switched. I'm curious as to which one would be more efficient against these guys in particular. Just to spoil it, they're about equal. In fact, they are shockingly equal. The two units that were firing at them that I checked both did about 2.3k damage to the Plague Drones, and 2.3k damage on the multi-shot arrows, and 2.3k damage on the armor-piercing arrows. I guess 50 must be the exact point, the exact armor point, where you don't want to switch. Though I suppose these guys also have a relatively low model count? So it might still be different against a single unit or a unit with massive numbers of models. Anyway, time for our units of Wild Riders to get to work at last, charging through those Nurglings. You gotta love Nurglings. I don't know Riders charging on through them. Ooh, it does look like they get hit by Hounds of Decay for their trouble, though, and poisoned, I'm sure, though that's not enough to quite slow those guys down enough. We do want to be careful as the arrows from our Glade Guard, which are at last leaving the forests, are looking very appropriately loreful as they do, will fire as they move. Suddenly, the Wood Elven host appears, and the Forest's Wrath is here. Another Gehenna's Golden Hands, or Kurnos' Silver Hands, comes down upon the enemy Plague Bearers, which are very, very slow, and thus will take the brunt of that hit. We're going to pop the Prey of Anathrema on the Beast of Nurgle and start focusing them down, as the Prey of Anathrema reduces their missile resistance, and these guys have regeneration, so we do want to focus them. Eternal Guard are embroiled in battle against Nurglings, but Nurglings aren't a particular threat. We'll see how the Plague Toads manage to do, though, as once again, we've seen them be decently effective in the Pestilence campaign. It does look like they do manage to at least charge on through a teensy bit through the Eternal Guard and start damaging some of the Glade Guard. Over on the left flank, we do have the other units of Wild Riders, the ones that are not in the center of the formation fighting, and they're fighting Plague Toads again, but this is an atrociously bad matchup for the enemy. The Plague Toads might be okay interspersed among infantry in the manner of a monstrous infantry unit to apply that lethal toxin that they have, or whatever the poison variant that they have is. Lethal poison, whatever. But in a one-on-one against the Wild Riders, they've got no chance, and neither do the units of Plague Bearers that were escorting them. Anyway, the other units of Plague Bearers are still trying to reach their Nurgling friends in the main line, but now all of the Glade Guard are focusing them down, and most will be banished before they reach us. Over in the background, we can also see all of our Hawk Riders, which have spent the, let's say, majority of this battle hovering up here and hosing Kugath down with arrows, not doing quite enough damage to him by the looks of it. Though at least he's such a big target, every single arrow hits, but I guess we'll have to wait until the rest of his army is destroyed to banish him. Fortunately for us, by the looks of it, we don't have to wait for long, as most of the enemy line has failed to reach ours, harassed as it was by our range and by our cavalry, and then at last destroyed by the Glade Guard. There is also a hero here, a Plague-ridden of Nurgle, but it is being banished, and by the looks of it, since it's being banished at half HP, Kugath is in the same situation. He has at least reached his healing cap. And we'll do a little bit of extra work by hitting him with those Starfire shafts. Damn, he can take a lot of punishment, though. There we go, and that's one of the reasons why Kugath is one of the best melee lords in the game, and despite the fact that he's not really a melee lord, which is kind of funny, but the incredible HP pool and his casting, as well as his general regenerative capabilities, makes him able to fight very, very well in melee, and like Vlad von Karstein, simply outlasts lords that, in theory, hit much harder. Not that that worked out so well for him here. Ooh, man, no damage, well, no real damage to us to speak of, but damn, Kugath, and he can certainly, I mean, we wasted all the ammunition on the Hawk Riders. Every single one of them ran out, and they had a lot of trouble making a dent in that mountain of flesh, but, well, at the end of the day, we did carry said day, so I'm reasonably happy. And these guys will get stronger over time, so hopefully the next time they meet something, an entity like Kugath, and we'll be able to deal. We will release the captives for the money, though I do believe the problem here will be that we are stuck in attrition. Yeah. That was right at the edge of our movement, but there's not much we can do about it. Channeling Forest Spirit Royal Standard Bearer as well. The air freshener is not super useful to us, but who knows. And hey, Seasoned Campaigner, a bit of a different story. Hunting Hound for Trelon. Yeah, sure, you can hold on to it. And frankly, we could probably put the what was it again? Not the Dryad Spy, the Forest Spirit on you. Frankly, the -5 enemy leadership is going to be useful against pretty much everybody, but especially the demonic factions. Orion, you have Never-Ending Hunt. Is there anything here that reduces our attrition? I thought that you had something. Not Protector, nothing here. This doesn't reduce attrition, none of the possession things do. Reload reduction, which is great, but, well, we already ran out of ammunition. And, damn. The armor isn't that big of a deal, and I'm surprised that the endurance of the yoke is only 15% rather than 30% compared to what the value of the other stuff, but nonetheless. It's a lot of useful stuff here. I mean, the campaign, movement range, and ambush success chance. You know what? We are probably going to be ambushing relatively soon, so let's do the ambush success chance. Construction costs -50 for military recruitment buildings, all provinces. That's nice as well. We are going to be building them, well, in many a province, so we will have to get that. And yeah, alright. What about you, Mr. Dodan? I guess cleanse the forest, more charge bonus, can't say no to that. Now, we won't go after you. You know what, go into Masterful Ambush, go right here, and then we'll try to use Deluric to lure this little army here. Maybe they'll try to go for him. I suppose it doesn't really matter if they do or they don't. And we just gotta make sure that, that you can actually... I think they can reach each other, yeah. Might lose Skrap towers, but, well, if we do, we do. Not a huge deal. Alright, what do we have in terms of building this turn, then? Talsyn, Forest of Shalon, nothing, Arguelon. We can build something here. We could do the Grapevines for a little bit more money, or we could do the Game Lodge for a little bit more growth. Frankly, the growth is probably more valuable. It's not a crazy amount of growth, but our money situation right now is relatively okay. I did want the area here. I think we'll be okay for now. And go for the trappers then. I suppose another reason that the furs won't be as valuable as they were before is the fact that what I hadn't realized is we do still get furs out of the trappers den, which is going to be useful. And thus... and we'll still be able to get the bonus likelihood of trading from other factions due to the presence of that additional trade good. Haunted Forest, you are waiting to tier up, so you'll be a little bit. Alrighty, that's fine. That's fine. Diplomacy check. Let's see what we've got going here. Frankly, not all that much. A lot of factions want to peace out, just out of curiosity. 2.8k, not all that much. We'll keep an eye on you, though. Regular diplomacy, is there anybody we can declare war on that we have not? The Drowned and Clark Harand, eh? Yes, please. And we'll take your money. Alright, that's 2 more. Let's take another look. Once again, I will do this, or continue to do this between the episodes, but at the same time, we should also do this. Run. Ally missions. We haven't built the outpost. I guess we can build one, although there might not be a good place to actually build one. At least not yet. You know what, we'll wait on that one. Plus, we don't really care about the Bretonnian units nearly as much. Maybe Pegasus Knights, but units like Cathian units are gonna, and High Elven units are gonna be a lot better for us. Do we just declare war on the parts of Sartosa? Well, we're not going to declare war on the Chevalier de Lyonesse, at least not at the current time, and we shall see. I want these guys to come into contact with a few more Norscan factions so we can declare war on them, but it looks like that's all we got for now. I also do want to get really good friendly relations with all the Lizardmen, because they have a lot of nice stuff. I guess one minor issue would be we'd have to destroy these sacred pools, although these guys aren't actually allied or anything. At least not yet. And the diplomatic relations, when this place is healthy, will counteract it. So if we could try to get ISHA to become our defensive allies and quickly destroy these guys, we might be able to, you know, maintain friendly relations with them. We'll see. Alright. Plus, I suppose they're not the only lizard option either. We also do have to keep recruiting. We saw the Skaven on approach, so let's get some more Deepwood scouts. I mean, this particular army is going to just have a ton of range units. 5. Get some regular Deepwood Scouts for the extra range and damage, I guess? We need to bother with them when we can use the Swift Shiver Shards as the close combat ones, and then, well, close-ish combat ones, and the Glade Guard as the damaging ones. The damage difference is not going to be that big. Yeah, you know what, screw it. Let's just go piles of Swift Shiver Shards. And we'll also need to check our lords, because I'd like a better lord with a decent trait. Haven't been happy with any of the traits on the Lady and Glade lords yet. Decent melee fighter, but and not great. Either way, we still got Durthu coming onto the field in 2 turns, so we'll be fine. You, Ara, Dryads. I mean, technically, Durthu is more about Treekin and Treemen than he is about Dryads. Drake is about Dryads, but, well, we'll see. We'll see. Who knows when we'll be able to confederate her. Also, what does... Oh! The Purified Oak at Mordheim is upkeep reduction for Dryads as well. Damn, we're gonna get Dryads very cheap if we can keep this. Alright, Dreka, how's that Confed looking? Minus 22? She needs to lose her main stack again. Alrighty, skip. Outpost available, skip. We already checked that. And offices. Deluric is following Orion around and giving him the bonus post-battle loot, so that's fine. The others aren't going to do anything for us, are they? At least not at the current time. Deepwood Scouts. This includes Deepwood Scouts. Ah, alright. Meaning we could... Okay, I forgot who's who. Was it Ara or was it Trelon? Alright. Temporarily, Trelon, you're going to go for Master of Scouts. And just because it'll reduce the upkeep of the Deepwood Scouts. And I'll probably put a... Well, we'll swap you out to somebody else, but for now, a little bit cheaper. At least it should be. I don't know if the numbers were actually reduced or not, but I suppose it also doesn't matter all that much. I would also like you to get the ever-reaching tendrils, and I suppose you should have the same. Alright, now we're good. Let's see whether our ambush... There it is. We are in attrition territory, so I don't think we can risk auto-resolving because we might take too much damage. So we're going to manually fight this just super quick. I mean, it's just a silly little ambush, and it's not going to be significant. We can probably just max speed through it. Just got to watch out for the rotflies reaching our main line, but everybody else is probably going to be too slow to be of any kind of concern. And the Plague Toads... Plague Toads versus Wild Riders. Pretty bad matchup. The Wild Riders may be fragile, but they're certainly not as fragile as Plague Toads. That said, we have been using Plague Toads in our Skaven campaign and our Lord Skrolk campaign, and they have been fairly decent in the battles that they've fought, and in combination with some of the Clan Pestilence stuff. So, yeah, they're a little bit better in SFO than they are in Vanilla, but they're so bad in Vanilla that that's kind of a low bar, admittedly. Anyway, you guys gonna go here, you guys gonna go here, like so. And Orion, you just need to be close enough to activate your Hound spell. Your Hound dogs. And you guys are gonna be like this, you guys are gonna be like this. The enemy will probably, most likely I should say, try to run. Alright, you go in the middle of all this to provide your aura. I would also like all of you to turn off skirmish mode so that you don't run. And Orion, you're gonna be group 1, you're gonna be group 2, you're gonna charge after the hounds are done. Start battle, and go. Alright, Orion, attack the rotflies. I'm actually a little bit more concerned about them. And... Alright, and the hounds are nearly done. Get ready to charge. There we go. And let's see how these guys reach us. Alright, well, they'll reach us a little bit, but nothing too crazy. Alright, go forward. We'll pop the horn, and the rest of these units shouldn't be particularly threatening. Alright, Wild Riders will certainly be able to chase down the toads. Look at those Nurglings run. The Frolicking and Bubonics. Frolicking Bubonikers, as I like to call them in my Archaon campaign. Everybody else is fine. Let's get these guys moving up and try to catch whoever's running. Alright, in fact, Wild Riders, you can ungroup yourselves and go after that enemy unit. Orion, you were stuck. I was gonna send you after the enemy lord, but the frolicking bubonikers got in your way. Well, the Wild Riders could probably catch those guys. You know what, you guys back off. Frankly, you're more of a threat to the Wild Riders. And you know what, you help Orion. Well, not that he needs help against this, mind you, but, you know, and just a little bit faster. And where the heck are you guys going? Alright, well, obviously you guys just back off. I just don't want them to do damage to our other units. Although I suppose we can move the... actually, no. I was about to say move the Waystalker in, but no, I'm still kind of concerned about that. Alright, yeah, see, we lost one of the Wild Riders, but was it to actual enemies, or was it just a friendly fire? Alright, you guys kill off the... kill off the Sorcerer. Help out with that. Orion, switch to range fire. Wild Riders, all of you just back off. The enemy will melt away. Like so. Lovely. All of you go chase down those Hounds of Decay. One of you stick around in case these guys fail to kill you. You try to get close enough to pop a Anathrema on you. Ray of Anathrema, that is. Alright, Hounds will get chased down, and Orion, throw a nice spear. Eventually you'll have your Amber Spear, so you'll be a little bit more effective at this as well. And that Chaos Sorcerer of Nurgle, been healing. There we go. Just the Hounds of Decay left, and this ambush will completely destroy the enemy. Beautiful. And this way we won't suffer, well, too much damage, because once again, we are stuck in attrition territory, so we will be taking attrition damage, and even with the casualty or punishment rate that we have as a bonus from Helman Gorst last episode, I'd rather not risk not being able to recover. Especially since it does look like Athel Loren is starting to get surrounded, which is bound to happen when you declare war on a bunch of factions. Skaven coming for us after all. Kill captives. Healing will basically give us nothing, but frankly it's not a lot of money either. I'm actually tempted to say kill captives. We are recruiting though, so even a little bit of money is probably worth our time. Though 2 turns of extra campaign, no, you know what, 2 turns of campaign movement range in the territory that we're in might be worth our time. We shall see. Alright, a rank gained for Deluric. That one we definitely don't care about, but, well, you know, we might still make use of her as a army leader eventually.
Your witch scent is anathema to the forest and all those who serve its will.
Undead cretin. Peace treaty... No. Why? Yeah, I'm not gonna bother with this. It's just a waste of time. And are you gonna actually survive again? Okay. And how is he gonna raise dead? Well, not much we can do about that either, I suppose. And those rats are coming. Wolf from Ertvig wants peace treaty, but no, for now we're trying to keep Draika happy. Great, don't even, how dare you speak in one of my campaigns? Frickin' Greybeard's Prospectors. War Dancer, attack minded, that's all fine. Confed with Reichland and Talabekland. That one's not a big deal. Ooh, that's a big deal. Kazrak's coming with a full stack, and he's at war with us, so he's probably coming for us. I mean, I suppose these guys will be able to hold, and I see Ikit's probably going for Quinnell. Can we slow him? Now you have assault units. Alright, go this way. And Ikit is at war with Carcassonne, just seems to be ignoring them. Slaughterhorn Tribe destroyed. Vol the Maker. Daeth is probably going to be happy about this. Now, the Wood Elves really have a lot of, The Wood Elves have more avatars of their elven gods than anybody else does. So they have Kurnos. Kurnos is Orion, Ariel is ISHA, and Daeth is Vol. Well, I guess the Wood Elves are the superior. Nobody tell Imric. He's gonna come here, and he's gonna burn the entire place. Anyway, armor for elves, that's fun, and we're fine. And the hunt is back on. Well, isn't that lovely? We may actually need to get Orion back here if Kazrak is coming. We shall see. Now, Trelon. I suppose they might intercept you if you go to Quinnell. Actually, even if they do, what are they gonna do about it? Nothing. Nothing, that's what. Go to Quinnell, I guess. Like, so we got 1 turn till Durthu Town time, whatever, now, and let's get him some more Dryads, at least until we can get Shuriken. Technologies, what's up next? More ambushed chance armor. I was gonna say try to go through towards Nethu, Keeper of the Last Door. But I just can't say no to campaign movement range. I mean, there's some solid stuff here as well, generally speaking. We'll go through it all eventually, over time. I'm actually now thinking maybe we should put one of these spell singers to steel tech. Like you, for example, Verdant Sage. But a single tech thief is probably not going to be enough to save us any real turns, and we don't have enough of these guys to sort of be wasting them. That's also the case. I do want one of these Sylvan Swiftness ones in Orion's army. I suppose we have to ask ourselves whether we want 2 casters in his army. At the end of the day, he will have Ariel, so it doesn't really matter. And I believe Ariel will have... I think she has Regrowth. I don't remember if she has Earthblood. It's been a while. I assume she does. Now, let's hold off on this for a little bit, but decent likelihood that we'll get you. Anyway, Orion, where do we send you? Damaged as you are from... Oh, that's annoying. Huh, that actually puts us back in our territory, but it would mean ignoring this little pile of rats. Which we can reach from here. But they'll run if we try. I mean, I suppose these guys didn't run. You know what, give it a try. It's not like we're in a big hurry to deal with this. Nah, I was hoping that because we were damaged that they would not run, but run they did. Now, you cannot reach Marcus Jaeger, unfortunately. I wonder if these guys would have reinforced, but you can't reach him either, can you? No. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll pop you into the Skrap Towers. Orion will go into ambush stance and we'll back off towards the Skrap Towers as well, and we'll hope we can try to catch Sneer Throtscar out. It's XP, it's money, etc. Some good stuff in there. Next up, we got... Well, Trelon, you've moved, so you can't recruit anymore, and in fact, you're in a World Root stance, so you're already recruiting. Durthu's up next turn, and I guess we got potentially some buildings to build. You're actually fine, Kingsglade, and you're collecting money. You will need a lot more growth. Yeah, our growth leaves something to be desired, but it is what it is. Alright, ignored for now then. A Haunted Forest, you are also waiting for growth. I'm actually kind of tempted to get you the Muster Stone so that we can essentially make... You know, let's do this. Let's get the Muster Stone rather than any other building. And we'll get a bunch of cav, even basic cav for Orion, to swap out his infantry, so that he has the starting of his all-cav army. Eventually he'll get more Wild Riders and Stag Knights, but for now we'll have to make do with Glade Riders. Plus it'll make his battles a little bit more difficult, potentially, as they're really, really fragile. Anyway, diplomacy. Any confeds? No dice. They're actually decreasing. But what can you do? Northern provinces. No dice on the alliances, eh? We could do a defensive alliance with Marienburg, but that doesn't really do anything for us. Cathik, not at war with anybody new, or at least not at war with anybody that we haven't already declared war on. Wait. We're at fighting? Now we're fighting Clan Spittle. Damn. The search for more war. Skip. Hey, come on, it's total war. And who embodies total war better than Orion here? Alright, now does Caravan of Blue Roses move first, or does the little Skaven clan there? Peace treaty, nobody, no. Belagar, ooh, okay, that's not great. At least, don't bother calling your allies to help. I mean, we were going to kill them all anyway, but, surprising. We've been discovered by the Caravan of Blue Roses, darn. I was hoping it would have been the other faction, but all good. Let's go kill captives again, because it's a very insignificant amount of money, and now with the ambush failing, these guys will probably move away. Yeah. Oh, I take it they have a set... they probably have a full settlement at Flayed Rock. Faction destroyed Border Princes. Caravan of Blue Roses, we knew about that. Bloodkeepers destroyed. Confederation Itzan Shalanhopek. Enemy killed in battle. Ambush foiled. Destruction and Distraction. Greenskins win 3 battles. You will confederate Vidrioth. Britonia win 3 battles. You will confederate Torgavan. Raponce is the only Bretonian who we're not friendly with in any way right now. Also, Belagar declared war on us despite the fact that Karakazor is not been recaptured. Okay, well, that's Belagar's problem. Shalon, you're going back to Kingsglade. Alright, like so. Durthu is back up and running. That's what we wanted. We're not going to replace Sara because she can still recruit and she still has that growth. So we'll just get him up and running. I'd like to see what the AI did to him. Bolts of the Forest on Durthu. That's the waste of points. It's not a huge waste of points, but he's not going to be using Elven Archers. Although I suppose the question is... Nah, we do have to reset him. I mean, most of his stuff will be in Shriekin. And, oh, our Dryad's a different... Give him some Zotes. And Dryads are out of Piercing Thorns, so yeah. Okay, Durthu, sorry buddy, we're gonna have to reset you. And you do have your Sword of Death. More upkeep reduction and a Helm of Discord, nice. What about ancillaries? War Dancer, Drummer, now you'll get the Royal Standard Bearer. I am the most excited about the Loak army. War Dancers, Shadow Dancers, Blade Singers, it'll be real fun. But anyway. We might put some Forest Dragons in there as well. Why Forest Dragons with the Loak army, you ask? Because Forest Dragons have a bit of a thing with Loak. One of the few gods that the dragons and all their arrogance actually respect, because Loak is kind of interesting. He's like Kegarak. He's the trickster god. Kegarak being the trickster god in 40k. But anyway, I'm getting distracted. Not replace, but reset. Okay, you'll be back in 3 turns again, Durthu, but not to worry, we'll build up your army in the meantime. I mean, I guess keep building Dryads. We don't really have much of a choice until we get the Treekin building in 8 turns. It's taking a long time to build. I'm tempted to collect the money, but at the same time, we're okay. Let's upgrade the Yoke of Ages to the next tier. It's gonna take 15 turns anyway, so... And that drops our money significantly. And you'll keep recruiting over the next turn. We'll also get these guys on the field as soon as we get a proper darn lord for them. Still don't like you, and still don't like you. Not wasting money on lords I'm not happy with. Orion. You are able to reach Flayed Rock, and by the looks of it, it's got a full stack in there. I wonder if Uzul will attempt to attack Skrap Towers. Decent likelihood that he will, but it is what it is. Let's head to Flayed Rock. Should be that this is where the full stack went, I think. And indeed it is. Pyrrhic victory, that's what I like to see. And is this a walled settlement, or does this count as Ogre or Norscan homeland? I guess it does. Alright, Deluric, I suppose... Wait. Here's the thing, if this army is not completely destroyed, they will be able to ambush Deluric and get... No, they won't, she could just go inside Flayed Rock. I was wondering whether we should get her back to the Haunted Forest so that we can recruit. There's that option as well, because we want... Yeah, alright, fine. Go here. We'll use her to recruit from the Haunted Forest those precious units of Cav. Do we need to upgrade this? From 2 Wildwood Rangers to 2 Wildwood Rangers in Treekin, but... It would take a very strong stack to bring this down at this point, so I think we're okay. Orion, time to go for a very nice looking battle, by the looks of it. Pyrrhic victory, that's what I like to see, go. Alright, here we go, a big old pile of rats for us to cut our teeth on or break our arrows upon. We have Vanguard deployed a lot of our units, or at the very least our range units, specifically the Hawk Riders, which are firing multi-shot arrows into the droves of ratmen below, which does make sense as the multi-shot arrows are probably going to be better in this particular situation. Besides, we need to make sure that those catapults go down the Hawk's Talon, the arrows of Kurnus, as well as fire generally speaking, and destroys the Plague Claw catapults, while we switch focus fire to the enemy Poison Wind mortars. Those two need to be brought down before the rest of our main stack moves on in. Now, the Hawk Riders, while they are hovering above and the enemy is milling around for now uselessly, unable to reach or see some of our main army, that doesn't mean that our Hawk Riders are safe. Now, on the bright side, the enemy does not have a sorcerer with which it could use Howling Warp Gale, but even if it did in this particular case, it wouldn't have been able to do too much. This massive pile of rats still getting obliterated. We get the charge on in with the Wild Riders, and then we back them off unless they start taking damage. Bounce power shifts to our favor, but reinforcements are still coming in 30 seconds, and the rest of our army has moved in. At last, we have a pretty good setup out here with the sort of impassable terrain on both sides, 2 rocks to anchor our line. And just have to be careful about the droves of wolf rats that are on the flanks and the rear from the reinforcements. About hitting our Glade Guard, as the wolf rats may be fragile, but they're fairly decently high damage dealing as well for a unit that has 120 units. There's a lot of wolf rats there is what I'm getting at. Anyway, looks like the enemy's moving towards us. The Warp Grinders are going to be the focus fire target for our Glade Guard this day, as obviously they are going to be a threat. There are also Gutter Runners in the enemy army, which we do have to be wary of, as they're the ones that have done damage to our Hawk Riders thus far. The enemy army, after all, is led by a Master Assassin, as well as 2 regular assassins. And, well, for those watching the Pestilence campaign, you'll know just how threatening the units of Gutter Runners can be when buffed up by them. Orion looking fantastic up on this hill, just sending rats flying. Once again, he is a big boy, and he can use his mass to run through them. Just had to stay forward until we got the relatively close range cast of his Hounds of Kurnus, and then we can back off towards the main line, waiting for the enemy to charge. And charge they shall. We're looking like we're getting surrounded. Looks like a little bit of damage on our Eternal Guard with shields here, and the reinforcements have arrived, and such the Wild Riders are moving or riding wildly to meet them. By the looks of it, the main line is still okay, however. Though it looks like the Plague Monks are in here, and an SFO Plague Monks are unbreakable. Though fortunately, these ones don't have that cannot die trait that Clan Pestilence gets, as we've seen in the Pestilence campaign, as that trait is absolutely insane on the Plague Monks and Censer Bearers and Anointed Plague Monks. I think it's 150 seconds of cannot die, and I want to say plus 100% charge bonus. Being able to run through arrow fire would have been real swell for him. Anyway, looks like the Hawk Riders are at last coming down. Can't let those range units escape, and we can get into combat with them as well. The Wild Riders have taken care of most of the wolf rats out here, but as you can see, they went from about full HP to lower than half HP, about half HP and about 75% of their HP. Certainly, they've done a decent bit of damage throughout the battle, but we can clearly see that the charging directly into the wolf rats was perhaps not the right move. Or maybe it was, because it did prevent them from charging the Glade Guard while they were in the fight, but nonetheless. Anyway, Orion just barreling through the enemy lines, heedless of the weight of rats. Looks like the last of the Plague Monks will fall to the staunch elven spears of the Eternal Guard. And once again, one of the goals for me is going to be to get an army of Eternal Guard up to like 100 armor or something like that. If I can get Flagellants up to 100 armor in the Empire or Elspeth campaign, we can certainly do so with the Eternal Guard as well. Especially as we know of several forms of it, and they're up to 50 right now, which is pretty solid. Alright, and 63 melee defense. I want to get them on par with the Staunch Elven Spears in Imric's campaign, Orion, as we saw that a line of spears and a line of archers can take care of anything. So we're gonna have to wait and see. Plus, these guys will have the drums and the Eternal Wardens, the unique unit of Orion buffing them as well as soon as we can unlock them. Anyway, a very nice fight, a heroic victory, and the hordes of rats will trouble us no more, at least not for a few turns, most likely. Alright, there we go. A very nice fight, and even though we certainly took a little bit of damage, even though our HP doesn't look too bad here, I think that went a lot closer than it might seem, at least on the basis of the remaining HP. I was also fairly impressed with the various wolf rats, as the collision with, by the looks at 4 wolf rat units, although at the time it was 3, they took about half of the HP off of every single one of our wild riders, and actually managed to kill nearly 10 of them on one of the units and a few on the other as well. And wolf rats are a basic unit that is a tier 2 and very fragile themselves as well, but that's why you gotta devote so much of that micro time to the wild riders. They're very fragile if they take so much damage even fighting wolf rats, and just gotta be careful with them. And as long as you spend your time babysitting them, they will give you insane amounts of value, but you can't like set and forget them like you might be able to a unit of, I don't know, Blood Crushers or Blood Knights or Grail Knights. Anyway, 4.1k, damn. 100,000 damage and 1,100 kills on Orion, mostly from those Hounds of Ruinous, but they certainly did their work. Man, Raise is going to give us 6.5k. Might actually be more worth it than setting up an outpost here, even if it is a heathland. 6.5k. Raise it. No way, we can't. We can't because, well, actually we can. And we will. Okay, stop moving. Don't move, though. Don't move. I wonder what the colonization cost is going to be. I couldn't click them. It's going to be 6.4k, exactly the same amount, which does make sense. We'll leave it alone, though. It's not like we have commandments, so it doesn't really matter all that much. Now, Orion, sort of strife, etc. We have your wild hunt up and running. I would like you... I mean, you could march stance, but I think... Well, actually, yeah. Go march stance, but don't go into this territory. I don't want to grab the plague, so we'll bypass it. We'll grab this forest encounter, we'll head to the haunted forest, and then we'll head briefly, most likely, back to the Oak of Ages, or jump to another place where we can get up another... magical forest up and running. Granted, at this point we're just being limited by the amount of units that we can recruit, which our armies are working on doing. Yeah. And of course, once the armies are up and running, they can hold well, each one can essentially hold their respective territory. You're still alive, Heralds of Ariel, just gotta keep an eye on you. Defensive alliance with Vidrioth. I mean... would that actually do anything for us? Not really. Marienburg wants a military alliance, but I don't think we care about that either. And peace treaties. Ostland, not until we confederate Draga, I don't think. And of course we will peace out with you. How much money are you willing to give us, though? Okay, not so bad. But you know what? All the extra wars are probably gonna still be worth more. Look at that relatively low army upkeep. Gotta love to see it. Anyway, anybody else need to move? The scout, who is going to find more enemies to declare war upon. Go north. We should also make like an army that can set sail and gather islands at the same time as seeking other potential war declarations. It's certainly something to do. Anyway, what do we have here in terms of quests? We could fight another one of these quest battles, although I was inclined to say maybe we should have waited. I mean, we could still do it. Although, no, we won't heal to full. Could still use the additional healing. I think we'd need to be in our own territory to do that, but I'm not really willing to risk getting the plague for it, so I think we'll wait. Unassigned skill points and outposts upgrade available we'll wait on, though the unassigned skill points on Orion in particular, I think we'll still do. Eyes of the Forest, or do we start going for Hunters Gather? We are building some military recruitment stuff in places. Orion's army is now free. Fantastic. The ideal number of wars for now. I mean, we gotta go through this entire tree. Let's give us extra campaign movement range. I'm almost tempted to skip this in favor of the movement range. You know what? Let's go through Quartermaster. I know it's free now, but all the wars won't last forever. Let's face it. And end the turn. Alrighty, Uzul will return to Shadowstone Bay with these guys. Jiao Ming will want military access. Yes. You're not wanting to do anything else yet. That's fine. I wanted to see whether we could get that defensive alliance going, because once again, I think that we can put some Cathian units. Cathian and Lizardman units, as well as obviously High Elven units, are going to work nicely with ours. Lizardman units will work really nicely with ours, especially all their monsters. Buff up our monster roster, and especially the revivification crystals will be fantastic. Underway interceptions, sorry, Gristle Twitch Slice, but goodbye. We'll take the kill captives again for the additional movement range. Simply because the other rewards are too negligible to be considered. Anyway, Confederation with the Imperial Wardens. Darn, we wanted to destroy a Cathian faction. Pestilence destroyed? Huh. I hadn't seen that, and damn, that's like 4 factions we were at war with. Orion's army is no longer free. Damn it, we have to pay 18 gold for it. But we do have to watch out for that, because it'll rack up. Loic Strictors, War Dancers, Hawkeyes of Drakira for our ranged army. Ambusher discovered Kazrak. He is not at war with these guys. Damn, we're kind of surrounded, which I'm not super fond of. Banner of Eternal Flame for doing some stuff. So these guys are presumably going to Grimhold. I suppose we don't care that much about Quinnell, though these guys are going for Quinnell. We could try to send Ara to defend it, but the defenders there are kind of negligible as well, and they probably wouldn't work. You're not wanting to peace out, are you? No. I mean, we still want to take the Isles for ourselves. It's still a lot of ports, and we will still get a lot of mileage out of ports. You... Huh, you're not able to reach... Are you able to do this in March stance? I don't know. I don't know whether you need to be in regular stance to do it. We can't reach it in any other stance, so I guess we'll try. Alright, go in March stance. I want to see. Deluric, go here into the Haunted Forest, and next turn you will be recruiting stuff. Let's see what we got. Yes, you can. Lovely. I'm a little bit concerned about Ogre's punished growth and control loss, eh? Ogre's spared 40 diplomatic relations. I did want to make peace with Goldtooth, mostly because they've got a bunch of stuff up there that we really don't care about. Plus, killing them off would mean annoying the Cathans. So I think we'll ignore this, and we'll go for Unhappy Tree Spirits for 5 turns. I really hate to lose the growth, but whatever. I mean, we could obviously decide later, but I think we may as well. I may as well. Placate them. Oh. We should read this. Our revered forest has been disturbed by a band of marauding ogres. As great as their appetites are, it's impossible to say whether they hunger for treasure or warm, fresh meat for their cookpots. Some hope they might be appeased with gold to keep our people from becoming part of an elven stew. Angrier voices argue that their blood must water the earth to heal the land and rid the forest of their stench. I mean, sure, but once again, I'd love to fight this, but... It's not that we care about allying them, it's just that killing them will be a problem with regards to Cathay, so placate them.
Yes.
Slightly annoying though it may be, and I take it you won't be able to... Yeah, no, you can't quite reach the Haunted Forest. So close by the looks of it. Right? This is the edge of Knobbly Gorge? Yeah, it's the edge of Knobbly Gorge. Oh well. Yeah, you can't travel. It's all good. We have 3 more turns, so you'll still be able to do so next turn. Dilaric, stay here, and recruit as needed. Well, funnily enough, he won't be here to take the recruits anymore, which is a bit of a shame, but what can you do? Scout, go find some Norskins for us. We just have to figure out what to do here. Ara, is that enough dryads? Well, yes, but also we can replace them, I guess, as needed. For now, I just want, you know, enough units to be in Durthu's army once he's up and running. Also, if Orion's coming back, let's take a look at what we have in terms of spell singers. Verdant Sage still... You know what, let's get Sylvan Swiftness with the spell singer of beasts. Once again, Ariel's going to be in his army anyway. And if we swap... Yeah, if we swap you to another army, that'll be fine as well. Yeah. Alright, Sylvan Swiftness. Lovely. King's Glade. Okay, we probably do have some stuff that we need to build. You're fine as you are-ish. You can upgrade one of these less, so growth plus 10 for all provinces. I do think we have to prioritize it, so that's what we'll do. And the Haunted Forest. Nothing to be built here. Alright, man, the admin for Wood Elves is just hilarious. It's just non-existent. If we weren't in March stance, I'd probably fight a quest battle. I suppose we could fight one next turn, if we wanted to. Oh, also, Durthu, you're supposed to be in the spirit of the hunt, yes? Yes. Because that's for... leadership in province, eh? It's kind of interesting as well. Anyway, Durthu, you're gonna go here. And the rest of you are fine as you are. There's no recruitment reductions, are there? No. Alright, skip. And, ooh, also we got only 5 turns left to Larime, so we won't be having nearly as much healing after that's done. I also expect that Kuget's armies will retake the Skrap towers, but, well, it is what it is. I wonder if Goldtooth... I could try to give him to Goldtooth. We'll see how much they are worth to him. Count Noctilus, want peace. I don't even remember declaring war on you, but we just declare war on anybody, so... all good. And also we have to defeat 3 Bretonnian armies, or win against Bretonnians 3 times. We have to win against Norskins, maybe the Vanaheimlings or somebody. Forest encounter, Whisper in the Woods, another one, and all the way at the Waterfall Palace. Okay, we'll let Durthu handle that one. This is happening now, and these guys are indeed going to for Grimhold, so essentially... we're going to have to pick one. I assume that Orion will be able to reach neither one. At least I imagine so. We'll see in a second. Spring emerges, that's fine. Sword of Cain claimed by the Scourge of Cain. They do have a tendency to do so. Orion, go here to the Haunted Forest, like so. And then travel back to the Oak of Ages. Yes. Now, just to double check, yeah, you can't go into the world routes. I was hoping that you could.
One with the forest.
What do we have in terms of fighters here? It's Belagar himself. I wish I remembered what his defeat trait was. Huh. Wait. Kazrak is here, isn't he? That's what's in Gristle Valley. It's Kazrak. Which means we should probably send Orion up there. Alright, Orion, we're going to pop you into, I guess, raiding stance in Carrick Bufdar, and we'll jump up to retake Grimhold. Alright, after, meaning Trellan. We're going to send you here, and we're going to hope you don't get intercepted, but if you do, I still think you'll be more or less fine. Spellsinger of Beasts, you're supposed to go into Orion's army. Oh, I should have transferred something. Alright, you can do so next turn. I'm gonna go here. Will you be intercepted? No. The other option would be to stay in our own territory and then do the quest battle. Also a pretty decent option, admittedly. Also, we should... ooh, Limber. Cooldown reduction. Probably better on one of these guys, though, on the... Spellsingers of Life. What do we got until Durthu? 1 turn? Yeah, 1 turn. Alright, he'll be up next turn. Get him 2 more Dryads, and ooh, we're up to 41. Whoa. The expense is real. And this army is at 900 nearly. Also, yeah, basically nothing to be built anyway. Alright, diplomacy. The only admin we have, essentially, is the diplomacy. No, not... Oh, you're at war with the Heralds of Ariel? We should make no deals with you, Heralds of Ariel.
Of the Mage Queen, you are welcome.
Do we declare war on the Exiles of Naheg? Do we have any kind of alliances with them? Or any kind of agreements? No, that looks like we do not. So we could, I guess, declare war on them because of the Heralds of Ariel. Although if we confederate them...
Can I offer assistance?
Maybe it's not a best idea. Ooh, hello. Ironbrow's expeditions with it at war with a number of factions. Last Defenders, are you at war with anybody interesting? No. Alright, you know, I'll once again, I'll take a look at this between the episodes. Every time. Yeah, Orion, just let's do your quest battle. Because you're gonna have to be jumping up here anyway. And although if we end the turn, these guys will most likely attack Paralan, which could be an interesting fight. In fact, would be an interesting fight. Unless they bypass you and try to go for Paravan instead. Almost tempted to send you to Paravan just in case. Can they reach it? Does this reduce their... Yeah, they can reach it, can't they? You know what? I think it's safer to do this. We'll send you here to Paravan. We'll recruit with Durthu over the next turn. There we go. I mean, the forest is under assault now, so we do have to deal with it. You're gonna go out here somewhere. Orion, we're gonna level you up and then we're gonna fight. Might as well do all your quest battles. You are trying to get to home amongst the boughs. Let's get you, I think, perenniality. Swift Fingers is great as well, but once again, you're always in fights and you're always going to need the healing. Cleanse the forest, another 10% charge bonus, and quest time. You have both of your quests unlocked? Oh my lord, we have a lot of quests. Most of them are Confederation quests, which we're working on. It'll happen. And we need more armies. That's why we had 2 recruiters going at the same time. Cloak of ISHA, that's the one. Now let's give this a read and then let's jump on in. The Cloak of ISHA, much revered relic of the goddess herself, has been stolen. The elves speak of dark omens, and even Ariel herself feels the changing of the forest as surely as she feels the shifting of the season. Orion is incensed to find out that the relic is to be secretly given to the Cult of Pleasure in exchange for the Mark of Slaanesh. A Glade Lord, sworn to the defense of Athel Loren, plots against the forest and plans to usurp it. There is no time to waste. Haste must be made to confront the Sarentan treacherous lord before it is too late. The forest watches with fearful anticipation. The night glens seem to grow darker as the hour of battle approaches. Teleport. I did not check what the enemies were. Oh, right, it's the... Yeah, it was talking about the betrayal of a wood elf lord. I do wonder whether, despite the fact that the game isn't saying so, that there might be reinforcements of the Slaaneshi variety. Let's find out. This Glade Lord is beyond salvation. She has given herself wholly to the Dark Lord Slaanesh. She is nothing more than a puppet of chaos now. She must be purged. Her retinue lies across from Orion, but there will doubtless be more coming to her aid. That's what I thought, game. The aid will not take the form of elves, however, as the Ruinous powers, those are my favorite powers, seek to secure their fleeting foothold on this realm.
This naive and foolish Glade Lord has allowed his mind to be poisoned by the Prince of Pleasure. The Dreaming Woods are a forbidden place of great malice and deception, and in his folly, our erstwhile brother has been twisted by the dark deeds within. There can be no further mercy. As I am born from Kurnos spirit, so shall these dark servants be purged by it. Let them face the rage of the forest!
Alrighty, here we go. We've tasted a little bit of our own medicine in the past fighting the forest spirits, and now we'll do the same, fighting some corrupted wood elves as well. The Wild Riders will start the day by barreling towards the enemy and prancing through their lines, obliterating any units of Way Watchers. No, these are not Blade Guard, these are Deepwood Scouts that they can reach. The Hagbane Tips Glade Riders are probably a little bit more difficult to reach, but frankly, the units of Deepwood Scouts are the more threatening ones anyway, and with the enemy's Eternal Guard moving towards our main lines. I just love it, the units that are getting tossed around by the Wild Riders. Anyway, the Wild Riders are free to roam in the back line of the enemy. Funnily enough, Wood Elves are a good counter to Wood Elves because of the sort of glass cannon nature, and it's essentially which of the Wood Elf players will outplay which in terms of how they can use their fast movers. Looks like the enemy's range line is pretty much all embattled, and indeed the Glade Riders, while our Wild Riders are busy, will get hit by the Hawk Riders as well. Our cavalry is better than yours, is what I'm getting at the enemy. And the Hawk Riders can pin them in place while the Wild Riders do their work. Orion is trying to move through the enemy lines, currently surrounded by a unit of Eternal Guard, which he got while trying to chase the enemy lord around. Huh, does he have any animations where he, like, impales a single infantry unit? He feels like oh wow, point blank spear toss. He feels like he's big enough to warrant such an animation. So I do wonder. Alright, we're gonna have to clear his way, and the best way to do it is the Hounds of Kurnos himself to clear him, and then he can book it towards the enemy. He will, of course, toss his spear while he runs almost as fast as a Wild Rider. And the enemy lord is there to meet him as well. I do wish that there was a way to use this mod so that enemy Wood Elves wouldn't look like our Wood Elves, in the sense that the enemy would use the unmodded vanilla style while we would use the reskin. That might be pretty neat. Anyway, the Wild Riders have arrived to join Orion on his wild hunt, though it looks like the enemy is very, very quickly and decimated. Frankly, once they allowed their back line to get hit by our Wild Riders, and their range cav, which is probably the last remaining threat to get hit by the Hawk Riders, their Eternal Guard would stand no chance. We've seen how fragile the Eternal Guard can be, especially without sufficient buffs, so they were never going to hold out for long. Also, just taking a look at this Wood Elf structure here, we don't get to see a lot of those even on Wood Elf maps. It's sort of like a beehive type of structure, woven through the wood and built into the trees. I'm gonna try to take a look at more of these maps to see this. I'm also it's interesting that they decided to build one of those on the sort of skull rock type deal that is below this tree. There are skulls all over every map. It is my understanding that the reason for that is that the skulls are sort of carved by the winds of magic themselves, which is why you can basically see them anywhere and everywhere in rocky formations, which is pretty neat. It's pretty neat. Also, so are these Wood Elf structures. I'm hoping that we can see more, like, for example, in the final battle. Anyway, I'm getting distracted by maps, but, well, yeah, I don't get to take a look at the Wood Elf maps as much, so... It's supposed to be like a Celtic-inspired sort of tomb. I guess, like, the symbols of the Wood Elves are generally kind of Celtic-inspired, unless I'm wrong. This reminds me of the... is it the Gondor symbol? The Lord of the Rings one? Or maybe another elven Lord of the Rings symbol? Anyway. Lovely. Lovely map. Yeah, alright, I guess there were no reinforcements after all. This whole quest has been a roller coaster of emotions, but what can you do? I guess we don't really need to abduct the captives. I mean, we are about to get a caster, however, at the same time, we still need money. All the money, much money, which we do get a little bit out of this. The control bonus, and of course the CLOAK of ISHA, which is a healing, but only once we reach below 25% HP, or we'll only have 25% HP remaining. It's okay. Generally, a potion of healing might be more useful, but this is also damage resistance, so it does get pretty powerful. Anyway, Orion, if you're in raiding stance, you won't heal to full, but you're also not so damaged that you'll care, will you? Yes, I don't think you will. Trelon, stay there. Ara, stay there. I assume these guys, well, even if they could reach Kingsglade, there's no way. There's no way. The Oak of Ages, though, is still fairly sparsely defended. The garrisons are kind of meh, but I suppose a lot of the enemies have to actually bypass a lot of our territory in order to get to it. Waterfall Palace, nearly to tier 3, which means Treekin, and War Dancers and Wildwood Rangers. Yes, that will be very nice. I would also like to check these guys again. Wildwood Vigor is still kind of meh. Upkeep reduction generally for missile units. I mean, I was hoping for something like range, but you know what? Your cost, that'll probably make them free, so we'll probably get you on the field, but I guess next turn. While Trallon can go back to Kingsglade and then recruit stuff. Not out of the way Watcher's Perch, but that is something else that we may even want to delete the Roots of Gyran as we... well, if we get another Spellsinger up and running. At least until we get another. But anyway, I do believe that's another end turn, unless I'm mistaken. Scout moving on up. And... who hasn't moved? Aluric. Oh, yeah, you are going to get a bunch of stuff for Orion. I mean, I guess we could start recruiting them. I wish they weren't so expensive. The other option, though, is to just wait. We can get the Grove of the Horse next turn, meaning Sisters of the Thorn. In fact, that probably means there's no need to get any range cav for Orion, because we'll just use Sisters of the Thorn instead. Though, wait, we only get 2 units of them. Okay, so never mind, then we will use some. Probably gonna have to go with the Hagbane Tip variant. Let's get a couple of them, and, well, you can only recruit 2 per turn, so that's all we can get right now, so it is what it is. I guess now we can end the turn, assuming that there is no more interesting stuff here. I guess we could start with the... I mean, does it do anything for us right now? Well, let's wait until it's worth more money. Speaking of worth more money, Oslin, how much are you willing to pay us now? 4K for the peace treaty. I mean, Draika won't like it. I wonder what her quest is. I'm pretty happy with us. You know, hold off on it. While it is a lot of money, we can also hold off on it. Shouldn't matter much. And Kingsglade, you will still need plenty of growth and thus shouldn't be collecting money. How much money do you guys make? Nothing crazy. Still nice, but the growth is more important. So, skip. Frankly, we're out of time, but if Icket is willing to attack Trelon, I'd actually rather fight it. And this is going to be another insanely long episode if they do attack. They're not going to attack. And I think they just want to fight against Carcassonne. I don't even remember declaring war against Karak-Kadrin, but that's just fine. We'll keep that ward up. And I take it Belagar is going to go for Grimhold and either retake it or raise it, but then Orion will chase him down and destroy him. He is, if not quite within range. Well, I mean, he is within range, and they didn't go for Grimhold. Perhaps they besieged it? But why? I mean, there's certainly some defenders there, but they're not worth considering, really. Is that Scrag? No, it's just a random ogre. Alright, settlement besieged, ambusher discovered. Still want to hunt down Kazrak if possible, and Durthu back up and running for good this time. Alrighty, so, Durthu. I think you're not going to replace you because we're using that growth. Nemesis Crown, Visions of the Empire. We could get the Nemesis Crown. Ooh, War Banner. War Banner is good. It is good for Orion. Enemy Hero Success Chance. I think we'll lose that one. Yeah. The War Banner is good for Orion because it's weapon strength and reload time, so he can benefit from it quite a bit. You are going to go up here. Not quite... The second army is keeping us from being in range of Grimhold, unfortunately.
You dare ask this of me?
But these guys are probably stuck here anyway, so good luck with that. And Aka, stay here. You're acting as a decent scout. We'll burn down those, and we'll burn down those guys in general afterwards. Ooh, wait, can you catch this? Wait.
The mother goddess guides me.
Kick it. You're dead. Why would you do this? Is it because, yeah, they sacked Castle Carcassonne, but it's a free plus 10% research rate for Trollon, so why not? We're not going to bother fighting that. I love watching it explode. Slendashi giggle. Explode when he dies like that. It's very entertaining. Anyway, release the captives. We're gonna need more cash. Anyway, folks, that is a nice find. But with that, we are out of time, and I'm gonna call the episode here. Next time, well, we'll get Durthu on the field. In fact, we'll get him on the field right now, and we'll send him off with what he currently has, while Ara returns to the Waterfall Palace and recruits some more stuff for him. We are going to have to wait a little bit until we get those Treekin up and running via the tribal stones, but we're well on the way. Plus, this will give us branch rates as well. Lots of nice stuff, in fact. Between the episodes, once again, I'm going to take care of the, while going through the list and declaring war on everybody, and hopefully our friendly scout here finds a few more enemies to declare war upon. I do believe the rogue armies and stuff count as well, so they're a good option. Anyway, more what else to come, so stay tuned. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, especially the threshold for the hour-long episodes. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.